Read glasses.
Yeah, Brady. Say Brady.
I have some.
Can you read?
Yeah, you might read it. Yes, sir.
I don't need you to judge me,
Okay, I'm not
sir.
gonna
You
judge.
asked for
I'm not gonna
something.
judge.
I provided it.
Call to order Rincon City Council meeting August the 11th. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Scott,
Here.
Councilmember Milner,
Present.
Councilmember Underwood,
Present.
Mayor Exley,
Here.
Councilmember Blackwell,
Here.
Councilmember Taylor, here, Councilmember Riley, here.
All right, guys, tonight's invocation will be given by Pastor Rick Johnson with the St. John's Lutheran Church. If you guys will remain standing for the pledge after the invocation.
Thank you. This evening, I'm talking from a book that I was given recently, the Journals of Johann Martin Bolsius. He was the pastor that came over with the first folks that settled this area in 1734. And he talked about the need for keeping a journal. He was actually told he needed to do that. And so we have the journals. They're actually, the full set is about 18 volumes, but a compiled thing of some of his journals that not all of them have been reprinted in the previous editions, and so we've got something to work with. And in that, he talked about the need for journal keeping, but also the need to follow conscience, which is what guides us, lessons that we've learned from our youth. Things like doing unto others as we would want to be done unto, or doing for others as we would want to be treated. Forgiving others, and to borrow the words of the Lord's Prayer, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And basically trying to do the right thing by other folks, because it would be, sooner or later, the shoe might be on the other foot, and we might be the one in need of help. Also talked about following the words of Scripture, and that's where I'm going to leave it. Talked about letting Scripture speak. And so I will let Colossians, the 3rd chapter, beginning with verse 12, speak to us this evening, and that's where I'll leave it. Since God chose you to be the holy people he loves, you must clothe yourselves with tender-hearted mercy, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Thank you.
To the flag
Of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry, Pastor, I was waiting on an amen. We were getting out of hand there for a minute.
I did not segue to a prayer, so yeah, there you go.
thank you.
Yeah, let's go with just saying something and say that we'll go ahead and do it. That way we can get that out.
I'll go ahead and push it on. Okay, so tonight, we're going to remove, I want to remove 3 items from the consent agenda so that we can move those to the end of tonight's meeting and be able to discuss them. That's part of how we pull things out of the consent agenda, and there's a motion needed for that.
I make a motion to move those 3 items to 3A, 3B, and 3C. Second.
I got a motion by Ms. Riley, and I got a second by Ms. Underwood. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. There's also a motion in order to approve the minutes from the July 28, 2025 minutes.
I sent in some corrections to Dulcia by email, so most of them were grammatical, and one was concerning the council's pay that we'll discuss later. Just a correction on that also.
Motion to approve with necessary corrections.
Second.
I got a motion by Mr. Scott. I got a second by Ms. Taylor. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Tonight's hero of the month, Mr. Joshua Wheeler, Master Sergeant. We were going to have Sergeant Matthew Waters come in and give that because he knew him, but Mr. Sergeant Waters can't be here, so Tim's going to go ahead and read this out. get through it.
So with Sergeant Waters, I'll take the blame for him not being here. There was a miscommunication. When we started the Hero of the Month, what was told to me that was the person didn't have to be from Rincon or live in Rincon. In this case, Master Sergeant Joshua Wheeler had such a direct influence on Sergeant Matthew Waters, who was our previous Hero of the Month, and also in the parade. I'm sure he has a lot of stories, but I want to give you some highlights, because when you look this gentleman up, there's YouTube videos, there's all kinds of stuff on Master Sergeant Wheeler. His name was Joshua Lloyd Wheeler, born in 1975. He enlisted in the Army and was killed in Iraq during Operation Inherent Resolve. He was the first soldier to die while we were fighting ISIS. He was assigned to the Elite Delta Force. Sorry, this is a little emotional because this story is, and you can find this, like I said, on the internet. He earned 11 Bronze Star medals, 4 with Valor Devices, awarded Silver Star, Purple Heart, and the Medal of Patriotism. He was born in Oklahoma. In 1995, he enlisted in the Army as an infantryman. And then his list just goes on and on and on. Mr. Wheeler was killed in the pre-dawn hours of October 22nd, 2015. Like I said, Operation Inherent Resolve. As a result of enemy small arms fire sustained during a raid on ISIS prison Compound 7. He lived in North Carolina. 4 sons and a wife, Ashley, which I'm hoping that she is on our Facebook page tonight watching. And if I could send a message to her, it is heroes like Mr. Wheeler that helped us be able to be free in this country. He was also a citizen of the Cherokee Nation. And I'll just show this. I'm not going to go over all these. The medals and honors that he received goes on for about 3 pages. Sergeant Waters had a very close relationship with him. He worked with him. And he had nothing but high regards for Master Sergeant Wheeler. And for that, I would like everybody to honor Master Sergeant Wheeler for today's Hero of the Month. God bless us.
Obviously, anybody that Sergeant Waters holds in high regard is definitely somebody that is fought for this country. We'll start with old business. Number 1, there's an application been filed by Neil McKenzie with Coleman Company, Inc., requesting site plan approval to construct 50 townhomes. The property is located at 624 Blue Jay Road and is owned by Georgia Precision Builders, LLC. The parcel is zoned R3, multifamily residential. Parcel number R2730001, and that was tabled at the 7/28/25 meeting. And then I am be looking for a motion to remove this from the table.
So moved.
I got a motion by Mr. Blackwell. I got a second by Ms. Taylor to remove this from the table. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Manager?
Yes, sir. There were some questions regarding this at the last council meeting. The petitioner's here to discuss with you today.
Perfect. State your name.
Good evening, I'm Mallory Boyd. I'm representing our client and Coleman Company. So I know the last time we were here, there were some inquiries on parking availability, and there were concerns that there might not be enough spaces. We did get back with the future home builder, and we got an accurate count for our parking spaces. Without including the garage parking, which each unit will have, will be 112 spaces at a minimum. With the garage parking, we're looking at 162 spaces, but our builder anticipates possibly being able to park the cars side by side in the driveways if needed, which would add another 50 spaces at a minimum. So I think there's going to be more than adequate parking that should resolve any concerns you have about street parking.
So not only longer, but they're also going to be wider?
Wider, yes, sir.
And
Mr., do you have any questions?
That's it, I think that should cover it. You're looking at 2 point something per unit.
Which is about right. Mr. Milner?
I think over so.
I just want to make sure the builder knows that, Terry, it applies here too. There's no parking on the streets, correct? And that their signage has to be placed in the subdivision now, right?
Well, so this is townhome, so the streets, so there isn't technically a street, but we would patrol that is the easiest way to say, because there just wouldn't be enough width for them to park on the street and have emergency access. So.
Okay. I'm fine.
Mr. Blackman?
was the additional parking still going to be included that you had mentioned?
Yes, sir, that count includes 12 spaces outside of the driveways. I originally thought it was 10, it was 12.
Mailbox kiosks or whatever that, I was trying to see where it's at.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm good.
Yeah, as long as you have the extra, because, I'm sorry, it just looks trashy when they pile
Sure,
up. And
absolutely.
It pisses the neighbors off and, just want to make sure it's good.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Riley? You good? All right, motion's in order.
Motion for approval.
A second.
I got a motion by Mr. Scott, I got a second by Mr. Blackwell. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you for your time. Have a good night.
Here.
All right. So, new business number 1, request approval of resolution number 5 to authorize the closure and conversion of certain bank accounts.
Yes, sir. I'll hand this off to Mrs. Osso.
All right. Come on up. All start.
All right, Mayor and Council, we're asking for the approval of this resolution. We have been working tirelessly to try to consolidate our city's banking accounts. This is gonna help improve financial efficiency, oversight, and cost effectiveness. There's several accounts that were not really being used. They just had balances sitting there, and really the interest rate was not enough to make it valuable for them to stay there. So we will be, we're looking to consolidate them with other accounts that are actually being used. And this is gonna help reduce administrative burden and make tracking city funds a lot easier when you have less bank accounts. Right now, we have 17 open bank accounts. Yeah, these accounts we're asking to close 8, so that would bring us down to 9 active accounts. And so this will help create consolidation and much more effectiveness when doing bank reconciliation and all that. We are also requesting to convert the Lost Plantation Golf Course bank account into a money market account. Currently, it's in a checking account, and it's accruing very, very little interest. We did negotiate with our bank to increase all of our interest rates in our money market accounts. So they have complied in making the golf course account a money market account, especially since expenditures exceed revenues pretty much every month. So this will help the golf course to have a little bit more revenue to help with that expenditures.
So my question to that is, will, and Robbie, you can answer this as well. The money that we are budgeting for the water usage,
Yes.
Will that money be annually plugged in at the end of the year? Will that money be
Probably
plugged?
plugged in at the
will-
beginning.
It'll be plugged in the beginning.
If that's-
Well, we'll be plugging it in probably every quarter.
Every quarter?
Yes,
So you'll go and look at how much usage they had, and then whatever that,
Yes, so there was a budgeted amount during the budget process,
Yes.
which was a total of 697,000 or so.
Yes.
So that was, that brought it to, and that was based on an average of about $50,000 a month, $58,087 a month. That would be used to help, that would have been the expense, right? So the general fund will give that to the golf course. So, we will be getting with our wastewater management director to make sure that he gives us the actual usage so that we can start reimbursing the golf course. But that still helps. Still not every month.
Right.
It's not every month, it stays well, a lot of times still, even with that,
right,
the golf course is in the red
Yeah.
on a monthly basis,
Putting
so.
it in quarterly like that will offset that annual,
yeah.
and you won't have such a low.
Exactly, yes.
Balance on it.
And-
On an annual basis, it will help.
Yeah, and for that, for people that don't understand, for a long time, the golf course was purchased to get rid of the reused water. And there was never a dollar amount put to that reuse water per gallon. So the golf course really always just looked terrible when it come to end of year, that we were always moving money. Doing it this way, we're actually giving credit for what we purchased the golf course for. And we talked about it for a long time, and we just never could figure out, we were talking about it in 18, but we never were able to put a number to it. So at least now we have a starting point, and I appreciate you guys for doing that, Mr. City Manager.
Yes, and eventually with that, the golf course is gonna end up making money.
Yes, it'll be interest revenue, but it's gonna help them to be able to cover those
Yeah.
expenses.
And like I said before, if the golf course makes zero, the city still comes out, it's balanced. She's right, that's what happens.
So regardless of that, the operation of the golf course is mandated through a consent order from the state.
That's right.
And so, regardless of what, if it's a wash, it's a wash. If not, we have to keep funding.
Better than paying the penalty for not having it.
That's true. And I'm not sure if people understand how much it would cost us if we had to dispose of that reuse water in another form or fashion.
Yeah.
It'd be tremendous.
Well, I did reach out to Whitney, who was the CPA that helped the city create the budget. I couldn't get a hold of our wastewater director today, but she did say that she did work with him during the budget process, and they agreed on like an estimated usage, and it was like about 1.9 million gallons, approximately per month that it would use. So that's where she came up with that number. And so that 697,000, to provide that would be the expense at 0.03 cents per gallon. So that's why we're just estimating that we should be transferring into the golf course about 58,000 a month.
So
approximately.
if we stay on that path, after, probably through 26, because 26 will be a guesstimate as well.
Yeah.
But after 26, we should have some solid numbers to be able to budget that correctly as to how much is being used.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
All right.
Anybody have any questions? Scott? Mr. Miller?
Thank you.
Thank you, Adolph. Once again.
Nothing? Anybody else have any questions?
What's the interest rate for the money market account?
It is 3.75% approximately per APY.
But you gotta realize it's not solid. It periodically moves and you never know when.
I'm just curious how long doing it.
Yeah.
I can do it about that.
Yeah.
Just curiosity.
All right. Anybody else? Is a motion in order?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I got a motion by Mr. Scott, I got a second by Ms. Underwood. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, new business number 2, request approval to surplus a 2001 Seagrave pumper truck. Chief?
Good evening, council, mayor. This is the truck that, our newest engine place of, 2001 Seagrave pumper truck. It is at just about life's end for any fire department. However, it still has a little bit of use in it. And, we were wanting to surplus it and, get it out of our hair. It's costing us money right now to keep it. It's just sitting outside, plugged in, when it could be used elsewhere.
Do you want to tell them about Lumber City?
Lumber City, I was contacted by Wayne Feller of the Georgia Public Standards and Training. Lumber City lost a fire truck. They're in a 1970s model. It's their only fire truck left. They get no money from the city, no money from Telfair County. There are 6 volunteers. They're all volunteer organization. And you have to excuse me.
Take your time.
We were wanting to donate the truck to the city of Lumber City. It'll be new to them, but old to us. So we were just requesting your approval to do that. It's a shame that small city volunteer fire departments don't have anything. And I know where that comes from.
You said that's Lumber City?
Lumber City. City of 3,000.
Well, if we have anything else they could use that we're getting rid of, give it to them.
Well, this is just close to my heart because I know where it came from.
Right.
The agenda request for surplus.
To surplus it.
We don't have to add.
Yeah.
We don't have to add that.
Yeah, we'll have to add that to it.
Follow up on the truck, Chief Reed, just make sure it's in the best running condition that we can.
It is. It passed 2,000.
When we pass.
It passed 2025 pump test.
Okay, good.
So it's a reliable
Fix
pumper.
what we can if it's.
It's
broke.
only got 30,000 miles on it. It's just at its end of service life for us.
What year is it?
It's 2001, so it's 24 years old. But it's newer than what they have.
Yeah.
They're operating in the 70s. And their pumper truck, one of their pumper trucks went down and they didn't have the money to fix it.
So we can,
Well, I'm gonna
We're gonna
refer to, our city attorney there
City attorney.
to figure out how we, cause this says surplus.
Does there need to be a monetary donation involved?
What y'all could do is authorize disposal of the vehicle in accordance with city policies and state law, and then you could execute how that looks on the back end.
We could execute an agreement, correct? Like for
I
a
believe
dollar? Okay.
But I would need to confirm that.
Yeah.
You come back.
So should we just table this until we,
Surplus it for tonight.
well,
Or change the wording.
I think you can surplus it, go back, and then get a resolution to donate it to Lumber City,
Okay.
and then put it back on
so
the
surplus
agenda
it
for
tonight?
approval. Yeah.
You good with
We can do
that? Okay. That's what we'll
Yeah.
do. And then that way we'll have everything, the legality side, we'll have that.
And with the year to it, it won't hurt us, because of the year of it won't affect our West Side rate.
Okay.
Correct.
Do you have anything you want to add?
No, that's basically.
Okay. You guys good? Does anybody have anything they want to add to that? Going once? Go ahead.
In our packet, it states that the pump truck is not worth a whole lot if it went to auction.
It's not.
But to a city like Lumberton, it's priceless.
Correct.
So for the citizens that are out there that are curious that, we're sending a $50,000 vehicle out, that's not the case.
No, it's not worth that.
A lot set aside.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So there's a motion in order.
Second.
All right. Got a motion by Mr. Scott, I got a second by Ms. Taylor, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Lou.
All right, guys, so new business number 3. I've got a few things I want to add to that as well, but I'm going to go ahead and read this out and then we'll do that. Number 3 is second reading of ordinance to amend Chapter 2, Administration, Article 2, Mayor and Council generally, Section 33, Reserve, to increase the salaries of mayor and council members. So we had some discussion on that the last time. I think Ms. Riley had asked, there it is, it's up over there. So if you guys want to take a look at that, that's the municipalities that we gauged this information off of. And it tells you, if you can't see it, it tells you total population, the actual municipality. It gives you mayor, council member pay, and then it has their pay cycle, whether it's per meeting or monthly. And if you look at the population, I think we removed, I think we used, what did we use, Hardy Bill? We also included our dollar amount in there as well, so that it would give us a better idea, or at least a good starting point into the average. But we took 3 of those that was like size of our city, and then we added ours in there so that it would bring that number down. But I think this was about 14 years since the last time. And so one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I did was kind of do my research. So while I was sitting around not feeling well yesterday, I got into a conversation with someone and they kind of went through this. And I wanted to add these locations, Douglas, Lovejoy, Rincon, and Vidalia, because all those are like size that we do not have up there. And then basically what we were looking at as a council member, Douglas was at 7,200 annually, Lovejoy was at 14,400, and Rincon was at 3,000. Mayor, Douglas was 9,600, Lovejoy was 14,400, and the city of Rincon was 4,200. The other thing that I wanted to add is it should be explained that this does not take, you can't as a council member, or you can't give yourself an increase. So this increase has to go before the election. So basically what has to happen is this increase will be voted on now and potentially be an increase for the incoming elected officials, because you can't increase your pay, your own pay. So therefore, whoever gets elected in this next cycle, their pay will change based off of our vote here. And so just to know, no one can vote an immediate raise in. So that was one of the questions there. But that gives you a good idea of where they should be. And I think we were a couple $100 below each one of those to just give ourselves a starting point. There was a question asked about a class and comp study. I don't think, we've got a couple of chiefs in here right now. I don't think that we have missed a class and comp study when they were due for our city employees. Our city employees have received class and comp, and that includes benefits and increases. So this has been done for years, that we have never put council or mayor up to be done, but we were getting so far behind. That's the reason why when you look at it and you say, oh, that's a 200% increase. Well, it is, but it's, you have to get yourself there in 14 years. And that's why we do class and comp studies, is because if those things are not periodically done correctly, what ends up happening is you have to give a 20 or 30% increase to your employees if you don't give it, every couple of years based off of that class and comp study, and benefits being the same. So anyway, I wanted to explain that, and then we'll start with Mr. Scott if you have anything.
No, I don't. I think we as a city, as we're growing, we're dealing with a whole lot of big boxes now, which 14 years we really didn't do. We've got warehouses. We've also got a lot of logistics going on, something that we didn't have 14 years ago. It consumes a whole lot of time. And the price of gas and training and being away from the families in order to have efficient people. And we've got to take classes. We've got to take classes. You've got to take ethics classes every year. And that's a demand. That's another job. And nobody, I for one, it's been quite a few years. And I've struggled with it, trying to get the city where it is now. And we took the blows. But now, it's a whole different world out here. And we have passed time, and like I said, they're not putting it there to try to put a number there. We're playing catch up. We're playing catch up. And we want to encourage citizens to be willing to step up to the plate and commit to being councilmen and taking active part in operation of the city. And to be fair, we need to set a good example and put a good road, pave the road ahead of them to grow, to be able to grow and come in and commit themselves to giving the citizens what they expect from the city, which is a higher level of service. And it takes time, commitment to get involved and spend that time away from your families to be able to achieve that. And I think it's a fair conversation. Maybe 14, 15 months ago, I wouldn't have voted for it, but it's past time.
Mr. Miller?
Being appointed last November to fill a seat, I knew I was going to be busy. I really didn't realize I was going to be this busy. I don't think there's anybody here on this board that does it for the money. There's a lot of stuff that the community does not see. Open businesses, meetings with businesses, special events, meeting with City Hall. I mean, it just goes on and on. So I don't know why it took 14 years, but for us to be in line with other like cities, I agree with that.
Well, I think these two gentlemen said it perfectly, but the demand on time, but the reality is that the city's gonna continue growing, and we've got to grow with the city, and we've got to grow an environment that draws people to service, and this helps do that. Levi could probably tell you all the times that maybe people wouldn't like, but we want people to serve and be a part of our community. And I met a sweet lady out in the parking lot a while ago. I'm going to connect her pretty quickly to something. But this is just getting the city of Rincon into this millennium. We said when we came here, it was like we walked back into 1980. IT, electronics, accounting, Robbie and them have done nothing but the last year and a half but put out fires and fix things. And we're getting the city where it needs to be for a bright future, and this is part of it.
Yes, like Mr. Scott and Mr. Milner said, it's been 14 years, but in those 14 years in the middle, like from 2012 to like 2018, the city struggled to pay its bills. It had a lot of financial problems, mandates from the state with our water and some other issues like that. And the council sacrificed trying to allow the citizens to give them a raise. They didn't put that on the agenda like we are tonight over those 14 years so that the city would remain financially stable as best as it could at the times. So I'm in favor because it's time. And so And I'm up for election, so whether I get it or not, I'm in favor of it.
I agree. The city's in a good spot right now, before I agree. I don't know how Mr. Scott's been on the council for as long as he has, because public service will kill you, I'm just telling you. It really will, it'll make you sick. And, kudos to you, Mr. Scott. But yeah, it's past due, the city's in a good spot, so if you have a problem, run for council. You'll see.
Charlie?
I agree with everything that's been said. I do think that a lot, the general public does not realize what happens on the back end to make this city run. It is not just this meeting. It is not this hour to 2 hour long meeting every other, or actually just twice a month. It's not that. It's several meetings every single week. It's talking on the phone almost every single day to someone or a citizen about something going on in the city. It's not 10 hours a week. Some people are putting in 30, like a full-time job, 30, 40 hours a week, some weeks talking and dealing with issues. The public does not see that. If I broke the $250 a month that we are getting paid down, it's probably less than $1 an hour some weeks. It's absolutely unreasonable. Now, you don't get elected to city council for the money. It is absolutely about public service. However, we should be able to, the city should at least compensate for what we're putting in our cars for gas to get back and forth to all of the meetings, and it's not even doing that some months. I can tell you that just with the insurance that the part that I have to cover, I actually don't receive a check from the city of Rincon. I pay the city of Rincon in order to have insurance. But I didn't start this job for money, but I do think that this raise is a fair raise.
And not to forget the worst part of it, my worst struggle is when my wife sent me to the grocery store to get a carton of milk. And I ran into someone who had their neighbor's dog barking.
Yes.
Mr. Levi, quit going to
And I
grocery
spent
store.
an hour trying to explain to them, you know, how we work that out. So,
Yeah, they got that
It's
new
not
thing
the
now.
meetings.
where you call it
It's
right
just
off
not the
the-
meetings.
Yeah, that's bad. When you look and see it, Lowe's opens up at early in the morning, so you can run up there and get back home before you.
I send my husband to the grocery store with a list.
Yeah, he's not talking to anybody.
He's not.
Does anybody else have anything? Come on up and state your name.
Well, now I don't feel so bad because you're talking about evading everybody. At first I was gonna say, you guys wasted a lot of time because this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm devil's advocate and I like to play devil's advocate. But you really make $350 a month
$350.
and
That's before taxes.
it's like
I get
$250?
$196 deposited in my account.
To deal with me, you need to be paid more than that. And I have the gift of annoy and I know it, but, because I care. And that's the only reason.
Well, and I think that's why.
But this is a no-brainer.
Wanted that put up, because when you see it.
Like Hardyville,
Yeah,
compared to, it just doesn't,
yeah.
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and I
That's
think
all
our
I'm saying.
number is 950, 750, so we included our number into the average so that we would have a starting point. So we're actually lower than all of those, but we.
So I just wanted to say that, because I always tell you when I disagree.
Yeah.
So when I agree, I figure I should tell you too.
Well, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Glad you're here.
And can I add that we didn't do this over a week or two. Robbie, how long have we beat this horse?
Since I've been here.
Yeah.
About a year.
Okay.
All right, the motion in order?
Order.
For a second.
All right, I got a motion by Mr. Scott, I got a second by Ms. Taylor, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, guys, so these were the three items that we removed off the consent agenda, and I'll ask that our city engineer come up, but I wanted to, as we go through these, I just wanted to make sure that we clarify, because I think, and this is another thing that we're working on, is this little owl system, it worked good for a while, but it's really hard to hear sometimes when you're trying to watch this live. And it's hard to see, and it kind of bounces around the room, so if somebody coughs, it'll jump over to that, and it just kind of makes it tough. So I think we've just about outgrown the owl, and we need something, you know, different so that people can view, because one of the things I will say about social media is, you know, there's a lot of views at this meeting. Sometimes we might have 3 people sitting in here, and then we go back and look at it, and we had 5,000 views. And that tells us people are looking at our meeting, but they just can't make it here sometimes. They're stuck in traffic, sometimes they watch. But anyway, I wanted to make sure that we clarified some things. And I can kind of understand how it got misconstrued. We talked for a while when we first started talking about picket fences. The past council and mayor, they were, you know, just trying to figure out, okay, if we have to buy property over there, you know, what is that dollar amount? So when they went into requesting T-Splosh, they didn't have the joy of a lot of time. So we had that when we started this thing. So basically, we started requesting easements for the picket fences, emergency access road. And in doing that, it saved us a lot of money. It was a lot of heartache because we had the gentleman that owned the property we were trying to get easement from passed away. And then, of course, you know, that goes into probate. And so we had to wait on that. Bobo and I had some ugly conversations that worked out. We made it through it because I was pushing so hard to get this, because it just been going on for so long, and we were still having trains block them in, and we still would today. But the road is being worked on. But when we started talking about that, once we got the dollar back and kind of got a quote back on what it would cost, we knew that we could use that T-Splosh, the rest of that in another area. We have spent tons of money. We talk about the golf course. We have spent tons of money on repairing golf carts to try to get them to go back for lease, because with the past the way they are, it has just beat the golf carts to pieces. So every time we turned those back in for lease, we would have to make repairs to them, and it was thousands of dollars. So anyway, we needed to go in there and upgrade that, as well as we needed to upgrade Macomber Park, and we had the opportunity to do that, and with the money that we were saving from that. So that's kind of why I feel like it was misconstrued, and people thought that we were trying to attach, maybe attach the stuff, the past to the picket fences stuff, because we were discussing that all in one sentence. But if we go to consent agenda item, well, it's new business number 3A now. It is a request for approval, pay request number 5 in the amount of $70,435.50 for the City Club path repaving. When I go here, Phillips Paving, this is a normal pay request. This agenda item, this consent agenda item is what it was approved on November 25th of 2024. So the only reason why you have a consent agenda is to be able to move through these pay requests, because if not, you have to read each one of these requests all the way out. Well, if you've already approved it, you know, the consent agenda makes sense to be able to get things done a little bit faster. So that's the reason why we developed or we didn't develop the consent agenda. It's every city you go to has a consent agenda. So anyway, that's why we done that, so that we could get through these pay requests, but the approval was there. There was a unanimous vote, and the bid was $1,778,500, and we still have another $180,000 to ensure that the punch list items are complete. And I'll ask you to come up, Doug, and just talk about that.
Mr. Mayor, Council, what you said is just correct. Tonight, we're here for pay request number 5 for Phillips Paving for the amount of $70,435.50. And like I said, I was made aware of Mr. Blackwell's email today.
Storm drain damage there.
Right. I have reached out, and I'm gonna meet with the contractor tomorrow about that, but like, the mayor said, every time we get a pay request, we withhold 10% retainage on everything. And we do not pay them the final retainage amount until we have a final walkthrough when the project, the contractor's still out there. We were meeting with a resident today behind 17. We're trying to, where the storm drainage is from 17 to 18, we're trying to make his yard back like he wants it because we put a pipe into his yard to his inlet. So we met with him this morning. I'll be talking with the contractor tomorrow. We just got finished with another slab out there next to the cart barn. So he's still doing some punch list items. We had a little issue from the rain last Tuesday. He fixed that. So once we get the stuff at 17 done, we'll have a whole new punch list. He'll have everything under contract, billed to the city, and then he'll want his final retainage back. And we won't give it to him until everything's acceptable to the city.
Okay, good.
All right, so, a motion's in order for that, new business item number 3A.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I got a motion by Ms. Taylor. I got a second by Mr. Blackwell. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Can I clarify real quick, even though it's been done, this is a pay request on a contract we approved back in November?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in public, at a public hearing.
That was publicly bid.
Just want to make that very clear.
All right, 3B. Again, this is a Platinum Paving request, and I'm just going to kind of go through there because I want to make sure that we clarify. When this says sidewalk extension, it was extension to the existing sidewalks, but it was also for the residents to have a way to get to the amenity that we have in the back of a neighborhood. So it wasn't anything that we were, that we were trying to accomplish to upgrade the neighborhood. It was the exact route.
Mr. Mayor, can I recuse myself?
No, you don't have to recuse yourself.
Well,
Yeah,
he can choose to.
he can choose to.
I
That's fine.
I would choose to.
That's fine. Go ahead.
It would be any kind of conflict.
Yeah, I'll bring that up too. So, anyway, it's based off of that amenity, and that's the reason why we went through, because there is high traffic in that area. So when someone's trying to walk on the side of the road through those streets, the city has basically created that atmosphere in that neighborhood. So basically what we have to do is assist in making sure that we provide access in there. And I think you had put it best earlier, what our job is, to provide that access around the city. But I also want to add that, that this was voted on. The bid was $319,576. It was put out to bid. And basically, we had, the motion and the second was from two members that was not living in Lost Plantation, and it was a unanimous vote at the time, and that was in January of '27. So this is their first pay request because of the weather, slowed them down.
I'm sorry, can you correct that date? You said January 27, you meant to say
January
January.
January 25, I'm sorry. Yeah, January 25th, 2025, I'm sorry. So that was when the motion and the second was done, and the resident that lives in there that had a vote recused himself, as he's recusing himself tonight. So, anyway, go ahead.
Just for clarification, and I think the reason that there's a little bit of confusion about the naming of this item, even though we, as a council, know that we are talking about sidewalks that are technically in the Willow Peg area of the Lost Plantation area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And at the time when we had not renamed the Golf Course City Club yet.
That's right.
So it was still being called Lost Plantation, and it was all in relation to the fact that that is our amenity, and these are sidewalks leading to the city
Yes.
amenity. So the naming convention on this is a little bit confusing just because we've renamed the golf course to City Club at this point, and this is actually sidewalks that are going into Willow Peg section of that subdivision.
Yes, correct.
I just wanted to clarify.
So now I'm gonna read new business and then then everybody can speak. So new business item 3B, Platinum Paving and Concrete request approval of pay request number 1 in the amount of $177,614.66 for the Lost Plantation Sidewalk Extension Project.
Correct, this is their first pay request, they've gotten started, they've put in all the sidewalks they can, and they are already under construction, installing the new storm drainage and making storm drainage modifications so we can connect what they've already built, like extended pipes at the intersection, so we can put in handicap ramps, or handicap crossings, crosswalks, detectable warning strips, but we didn't have enough room this is the only section in the subdivision that didn't have curb and gutter. So it was a little more difficult with the roadside swales. So we had to extend some pipes, add some drainage, modify some drainage. But they've put it all in as good as they could in the straightaways, and they're out there putting storm drainage in now, and hopefully within the next weather permitting, we'll wrap this up here in the next month.
Mr. Scott?
I just want to say that for years, we've struggled with funding the project here. The state allowed us to approve a T-Splosh. We've got a lot of projects going on. The concern is where these projects are going on, how fast we're moving on those projects, and those out there. And that is a concern for citizens to have when you've got other areas that need repairs and work. And but since T-Splosh, we just started getting the money in. Because normally, when a project is set to move on, that project is approved in the first of the succeeding year. And consent orders, that's where it's placed because it's already been funded and already been approved. But now, we can move a little bit faster because we have T-Splosh. We've got some area here, and I have no concerns because I'm getting beat up every day about it.
Well, and Mr. Scott, I have those additional addresses that I'm gonna read as well.
Yeah, but what we're dealing with sometimes is acquisition of property, land to move the project. We just can't go out and just start running when we've got people holding up on signing off and giving us easements and right-of-ways. And believe you, we're still on it. But what we're doing now, we've got to go ahead and move forward now and get as much done as we can while the funding's coming in, because we need to move that funding to get these projects completed. And I know if it's me, my street teared up, and we got a bunch of, and I get the calls back every day, we got a bunch of spending going over here. It's not because we're not focusing on it, it's because we have been held up in certain areas because of acquisition of land and improvement of easement, because we just can't go on anybody's property when we get ready. That's trespassing, even us.
I'd just like to add, I talked to Kevin about this earlier, there's no way that we could possibly just go out and start running willy-nilly sidewalks everywhere. We try and find a need or problem area or priority area and hit those. We're talking in-house all the time about places like Lexington Avenue, these sidewalks. Terry and them are working on a master plan, and part of that master plan will be over the next 25 years. We'll plan out all of this stuff and how to fund it and where it will fit in at and the priorities of it. We've been working hard. We had to get the UDO in place, had to get the ordinances in place. We set a vision meeting, and now Terry and them are working on a master plan for this city that'll move us forward. And there'll be a plan for all of these. And those critical areas will be prioritized for safety issues. So our staff's working hard every day to get a lot of work done. And Doug and them are working hard. Doug, we appreciate what y'all do. Y'all are doing an amazing job. Thank you.
I get a lot of compliments on everything we build that y'all approve.
But I would like to once again say, and I'm gonna just be redundant, this is a pay request on a draw for a contract we approved months and months ago in a public setting.
Mr. Blackwell?
I just want to clarify, we're talking about funding that the golf course, cart, club cart paving was a budgeted item that we approved. What we're talking about now, the sidewalks in the Lost Plantation area, that's sidewalks. We can pay for that using T-SPOS funds. And the next project we're gonna talk about, which is picket fences, we have to pay for it, so that was a
It's
budgeted
T-SPOS.
item.
Is T-SPOS?
And this T-SPOS
It's
too?
T-SPOS as
Okay,
well.
it wasn't indicated on our packet.
Yeah.
But I believe, yeah, it's road, that's the T-SPOS project also, so.
Well, that's why T-Splosh is so important, so if, when it comes back up, everybody needs to vote on it, because it saves our city so much money.
Ms. Ryan? You already spoke? Okay. All right, so there's a motion in order for new business 3B.
So maybe.
All right, I got a motion by Mr. Blackwell, I got a second by Ms. Underwood, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, we'll move to 3C. 3C is Pintel site preparation request approval. Pay request number 1 in the amount of $284,739.65 for picket fences emergency access road. This, again, this was approved on March the 24th, 2025, and it was a unanimous vote from council. It was a motion from 2 non-residents of that neighborhood, and the resident recused himself, which she will do now, from the discussion and the vote. So the bid was 1.2. When we looked at it, we were thinking, 1.3 is what we were guessing. It came in at 1.248671. And we had a total T-SPOS set aside for that for $2.7 million. So that's where everybody was, the misconception came in when we said that we were going to use that money. But that wasn't actually that money, it was just T-SPOS money. But that explains that, that portion of it. And I think they've got, Doug, if you want to talk on that, about where they are.
Yes, they've made really good progress. We've been waiting all week, last week, to start proof rolling so we can start putting down 8 inches of GAB, but it's rained every day, and if it rains one day, it takes 2 to 3 days to dry out. So we're waiting on a couple of dry days so we can dry it up. The route's been cleared. The whole route has been rough graded, and we're ready to proof roll. The side ditches have not been put in completely, but all of the storm drainage is in the ground. So we're just waiting on some dry weather so we can start putting down 8 inches of rock and building a road.
And another misconception for that neighborhood was that there was 2 things. One, it was going to be open all the time, and that's not what's going to happen. It's not going to be a flow through. In the event of a train stoppage, we will open it up on both sides. Another misconception is that Lou was going to go down and get a van and he was going to tote people from one end to the other. That will not happen. We will have police and fire representing both ends of that property. They will have a key to it, and it will be open for access in the event that a train stops and blocks that neighborhood. So people getting off of work on night shift and things like that will have times where they can come in and get to their home in the event that something like that happens. So anyway, that was the misconceptions, the things that I heard. And hopefully what will happen with this road is that they develop, people buy that property and develop that back there, whether it be commercial or residential. And then that kind of connects our city to all the way through to McCall Road.
And that's not a 2-3 year project. That's almost 15 to 16 year project.
That's right.
We've been fighting that project for that long, but we had to fight the railroad, and that's a losing battle. And funding.
Yeah, they are not run by, there's a certain group that runs them, and we sit in those meetings and you just get frustrated because they don't really really care. They don't adhere to anything, but we worked our way through it. The last thing, before we vote on that, let's go ahead and vote on that. We'll go ahead and vote on this one, and I'll add this up.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I got a motion by Ms. Taylor. I got a second by Ms. Underwood. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys are making headway. That's good.
Yeah.
They started July 1st, and they've made good progress.
Yeah.
Even with the rain.
Yeah,
They've had-
and crossing
we've had-
wetlands.
Counting today, we had 12 rain days that they could not work.
Thank you.
That's crazy. So, real quick, I wanted to add this. The past council and mayor, completed or started, 3 sidewalk projects. That was T-Splosh projects. That was, State Road 21, you know, that, path that goes in front of, Rincon, Chevrolet. And, so that was one that they started, and it completed in 2024 under our watch. And Fort Howard, school access. So Fort Howard Road was also done, all the way down.
Well, when we widened it in 2011, we put sidewalks all the way to the pump station.
To the pump
The
station.
avenue. So what we do now, the school wasn't there then, so y'all extended it
Went from
from
there
Market
to-
Street, which is the
We're
back street, and then Abbey, all the way to Rincon
to the
Elementary.
road.
Yeah.
And to Dasher
Shift it off
Lane.
widen it some.
And then also the 9th Street sidewalks was started back then, and then obviously that was
Well, it was on one side, and then we went from Giles all the way back into town to Highway 21.
right. So, this is the thing that I wanted to add, with the additional, T-Splosh money, we have scheduled right now 9 streets, that we're set to bid out in the next few weeks, correct? Those 9 streets are East Long, Shaw East, Shaw West, East Johnson, West 6th, West 5th, William Street, and East 9th. Those streets, you know, obviously, you know, those things are being approved now, and we, Mr. City Manager, I think you stated to me earlier that it was bid, it's gonna be bid as a package.
Yes, sir.
9th Street all the way from Blue Jay, or McCall, that is a project that we combined with the county, because they were already coming that far. So we kind of worked with the county to use the same vendor to do that, and they bought all the material, which saved us some money. Anything moving forward, anything that we find that the county is doing annually that touches our streets, we want to make sure that we can, you know, we work with them and partner with them to be able to save money on material. So, anyway, 9th Street from McCall, is it McCall or Blue Jay?
Right, it's all part of the county,
Yeah,
it
all the
goes
way.
from the county into the city.
Yeah, so all of it's getting paid, but we will have everything from our, you know, of course, from our city limits on 9th Street all the way through.
That'll be early fall.
That's early fall, and that'll take us to the red light.
Yes, sir.
And then the other T-Splosh project will be the other side of 9th, which we call East 9th. And then the other ones that I named will be a part of that as well. And we've talked about some other sidewalks, but that's something that we will, you know, we'll get together and get a plan for, you know, the additional sidewalks and determine where. But we really need to make, you know, Mr. Kirkland said this all the time, you know, his goal was to be walkable in the city. And that's what we want this city to be. We want it to be walkable. We want you to be able to walk from Fort Howard Road all the way to Macomber and enjoy that amenity and watch kids play ball. And then back over to Lost Plantation and then out to Freedom Park for a fair. So that's our goal, and that's our plan moving forward. So anyway, just want to make sure that everybody got to hear that, because we have that transparency portal, and it gets updated every Friday. It changes on the dates of as things are completing. So it's online, it's on our website. So if you ever want to look at that. And then there's another tab on it, I think it says future projects. We're always adding to future projects, and if somebody, you know, requests a future project, just let us know, and we'll talk about it and then get it listed on that task list. But that's a transparency portal is what I call it, because a lot of people ran on a lot of things, you know, and we wanted to make sure that whatever they ran on, it was in everybody's face as to what we were doing about getting those things done. So, that's why we came up with the transparency portal. And does anybody have anything that they want to add? If not,
I would like to add, if you go to, whether you have an Android or an iPhone, look for Citizen Central. Download that app, because I've been hearing a lot of requests for this in the city, that in the city. You can generate an issue in the city, a work order. You can generate an open records request. You can look at, I mean, there's all kinds of ordinances are on there. Citizen Central on the app. If you need help, contact me or somebody else or City Hall. We'll be glad to help walk you through it.
That's the
Because
homepage, you know, I was
It
curious.
is a great, great app that was developed by the city of Rincon.
Yep, right there.
and I don't think that we have nowhere near, the buy-in, that we need on that. You know, it's a place where, you know, you get emergency notifications, weather notifications and things like that. So it's important, for people to get that downloaded and utilize it. And I think in the future, I'm not sure you can do it now, Robbie, but I know we were talking about, you know, making tea times, paying water bills.
On the website.
On the website.
Yes, sir.
It has a link from there.
So it has a link
You
from
can
the.
do that.
Yeah,
You can do tea time.
And signing up for a rec department, correct?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of that will be on the website.
All that'll be on the
You
website.
don't
Pay
have,
your water
you can
bill?
do it right there, pay your water bill, everything.
It's all on Citizen Central. There's
Yes.
links to everything.
Fabulous site.
Speaking of water bills, we have a new water bill coming out this month. It'll be nice and neat and
No more postcards.
no more postcards.
Actually, I heard great, it is great.
It is.
Because there's information on this new water bill that you can actually read. It's in color, and it's very, I mean, it's a great
Yeah, it looks good.
upgrade.
This has been almost a year in the making, because we approved this a long time ago, last year, and it's just the technology that we had didn't wasn't compatible. We had to get some upgrades, and then just to get some of our budgeting items cleared up too. So it's been a long process to get this going. We won't have no more lost postcards in the mail, which has happened to me once or twice, you know, too, so.
Yeah, another great job by our city.
Yes, thank you, City Hall.
All right, guys, is there a need for executive session?
No, sir.
All right,
Wow.
so I guess there is a motion in order to adjourn.
Mayor, I need to, we're talking about task list.
Yeah,
I think I mentioned to Robbie, we've got, a dirt road in Rincon here, Hardy Road.
yes.
We're having trouble with easements on it. We need to focus on that road. Doug, while you're here, South Street, to be determined. We need to look at, we need to put a date there somehow.
Yeah, that's, yeah, we had two easements.
No, we're not gonna worry about them.
Right, we're not, we decided we would just cap those and we wouldn't worry about that.
That's
until
right.
the time that
Right.
somebody wanted to come in.
So,
They sent the final plat. There was one change that was needed on it. Because it was somebody that I had worked closely with, that he was very adamant about where, like, his lines need to be. I sent that to them early last week, so as soon as we get that back, then we're, like I told them, we're good to go on that.
so that Seventh Street, that was a big deal. I mean,
Yeah, we
Levi's
need to get
been.
that in hand, because
Yeah.
this is
That's
Well,
been dragging out for
Yeah.
years.
And the problem with that, guys, is there was 3 or 4 of those properties where, people did not live.
And when they go in that port and look at that task list and to be determined,
Yeah, yeah,
that's a headache for me.
yeah. So we just need to make sure that, that we go ahead and move forward on it. I mean, we've already approved that to cap it and go.
Right.
All right?
You got it.
Okay.
Now we good.
Yep, so we'll put a date on that, Terry?
Yes.
And
we'll
then
put
we
it
can
in,
get
yes.
that, we can go ahead and get that bid and get that work done, because it's been just rotating.
Big project, yeah.
So, another good decision made by council and staff to say, you know what, cap the ones that we can't get a hold of, because there was only 2 of them, and let's move forward, because if we sit and wait on 2 to get that job done, it could be another year or so, and it's been
Been
ridiculous.
dragging out long enough.
Yeah, it has.
And then that road be paved.
Make sure they don't throw their water bill away.
Yeah.
It's new,
So they don't throw it out?
Yeah, don't throw your new water bill away. It'll still be due.
Junk.
Right. And, I think there was one other thing that we wanted to add. I think we did a road survey. They've completed that, Robbie, and I think they're moving. They're
Talking about
Fort Howard.
Yes, sir. I got
So-
something, I got an email on that today.
So we had someone do a road survey there, and also putting in crosswalks for the school, because there's no crosswalks to get across down at the end. So, there's gonna be some changes there, but I just wanna let you guys know that, the survey is completed, and Robbie will, I guess we'll update everybody, whenever we, have the next meeting.
Yes, sir.
We'll do that.
What's the road survey for?
We did a road survey to see how many people, because in order to change a speed limit, even on a city street,
Foot traffic.
yeah, foot traffic. Yeah.
I got it.
So that's kind of what we did there. So if there's nothing else, there's a motion in order to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, I got a motion by Mr. Scott, I got a second by Ms. Underwood, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you guys
Y'all
for
are
coming.
coming.
Thank y'all.
You like an audience.
He said he